Just when you think that your chat is secure and private, you go and find it getting leaked to the public or accidentally sending it to the wrong person. The feeling can be quite embarrassing. Join us as we have a look at 15 incredible chat fails that went viral. Number 15. Elon Musk and Jack Sweeney. Can you take this down? It is a security risk. That was the opening chat of Elon Musk with 19-year-old Jack Sweeney over a Twitter DM. By the conversation, Elon Musk was referring to a Twitter account named Elon Jet, one of 15 flight tracking bot accounts created by Sweeney to track the movements of his private jet around the world. The message came in at 12:13 a.m. Sweeney's time, and normally, as a college freshman, he would be asleep. It took Sweeney 7 hours to reply. His response was, "Yes, I can, but it'll cost you a Model 3, only joking unless." Musk was probably concerned by the growing popularity of the 15 accounts, each of which tracks and records data and tweets of a chosen plane each time it takes off or lands. Each one of the accounts follows a high-profile person, including Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos, and according to Musk, he doesn't love the idea of being shot by a nutcase. The conversation continued for a few more messages, and when asked, Sweeney revealed that he made at most $20 a month off the Twitter accounts. Then Musk offered him $5,000 to delete the account to keep his location from being tracked, but Sweeney requested one more zero to make it $50,000. It would be a great support in college, and I would possibly allow me to get a car, maybe even a Model 3, he said. While Musk said that he would think about it, there was no news of him paying Sweeney the requested money. Sweeney confessed to having gained a lot by running the account. At least he gained social media followers, and he learned how to code. Number 14. Miscommunication with boss. This chat dealt a devastating blow to the individual involved. The situation began when a 19-year-old man named Corey, a website designer from Chicago, received a text message from an unknown number, which read, "I'm making you come at 12 on Friday." In all fairness, he had no idea who had sent the message. Perhaps he was angered by the tone of the text, because this type of text is kind of saucy, and it's one that he might send to a random girl. Out of annoyance, he replied, "First off, you're not making me do... Second off, I don't remember scheduling any appointments." There were some choice words in the pauses there. Things took a different turn when he got the reply. It turned out that his boss actually sent the message to confirm his working hours. Unbeknownst to him, his boss had recently gotten a new number, so he possibly didn't have the new number saved in his phone. That's when Corey received another text from his boss reading, "I'll be giving you a call tomorrow to discuss the terms of your employment with us." Immediately, he knew that he was in trouble, so he sought advice from Twitter users. After he made the post, it went viral, attracting hundreds of comments. While some advised him to begin a whole new life, some suggested he should claim the message had been sent by a jealous girlfriend. Later that day, he would reveal that he'd lost his job, but not because he was sacked. He actually resigned because he thought that Twitter blew up the situation. Number 13. Chat with partner misinterpreted. A part-time retail employee at a clothing store once left work and got on a bus to head home. During that journey, she would spend time on her phone. Her boyfriend texted her at one point asking if she had left work yet, and she responded, "Yes, and I can't be home soon enough. I'm tired, and the fat cow sitting next to me is taking up half my seat as well as hers, and hasn't heard of deodorant." It wasn't the nicest thing to say, she admitted, but she called into her boss's office at the beginning of her next shift and was told that someone had complained about her. She was left puzzled for a moment. She couldn't think of having upset any customer, and then they showed her a series of photographs of her and her phone screen. Obviously, the person that took the picture was sitting behind her. That person recognized her, having served them in the store the previous day, and for her to be saying such things, the company's reputation was at stake. She was considered to be a two-face. She was polite to her the previous day, and the next day she was being nasty about the lady sitting beside her. Her company promised to deal harshly with the situation, and eventually she was fired. But what do you think about this? Was it appropriate to be snooping over someone's shoulders and taking photos of them and their phone screen without their consent? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. Number 12. Adrian's Kickback. 17-year-old Adrian Lopez made a digital invitation to his Huntington Beach birthday party, providing the time, location, and date. The invite, which is captioned "Slide through this Saturday, we finna turn up," is supposed to be for his school, but it ended up on TikTok and went viral. Lopez's friend thought of creating an additional interest for the party and went ahead to put the invite on his Snapchat and later on his TikTok. Initially, the post only got 40 likes. However, it would not be long before TikTok's recommendation algorithm took off the post, distributing it extensively. Before he knew it, internet celebrities made posts about the party, and they even made TikTok videos with the hashtag Adrian's Kickback, which drew almost 280 million views. But rather than be worried about how the invitation had gone viral and the number of guests that might be showing up, Lopez and his friend found it to be fun and hilarious. On the night of the party, about 1,000 people were said to have arrived at Huntington Beach, and out of fear that they would get into trouble for having such a large crowd, the two decided to team up with a store, Cookies and Kicks, to sell $40 tickets for the party that would now be held at an unnamed location. Teens would rush to get tickets because they thought internet celebrities would be in attendance. It was the beginning of trouble that later unfolded in the evening. Lopez and his friend failed to announce the venue, and unaware of the location, about 2,500 teenagers converged on Huntington Beach. Some attendees lit fireworks, violence would ensue, and an emergency curfew was declared from 11:30 p.m. on that Saturday night to 5:30 a.m. on that Sunday. Number 11. Rebecca McTaggart's family chat prank. Rebecca McTaggart, who goes by the name RJ McTaggart on TikTok, posted a video showing her response to a group text message that was accidentally sent to her. She captioned the video, "When you get added to a random family's group text and want to spice things up." Some family members could be seen exchanging wishes, especially about a particular Thanksgiving, when McTaggart's message came in. That message read, "So thankful for everyone, the kids are looking terrific." She also added a photo of an ultrasound, which she captioned, "Going along with this, unfortunately, I will be raising Brinley as a single parent. This was a tough decision to make, but we've decided it is what's best for the baby's well-being." One of the group members would comment, "I just know you were the talk of Thanksgiving." She made a second video claiming that she got a few messages from members of the group who didn't have her number saved. Nevertheless, one person congratulated her on the pregnancy. Her prank was eventually punctured when she was left a voicemail on the group chat by a family member. It says, "Hello, this is Joanna, and I am so sorry. I don't know who this is. I just saw the text and realized you aren't in the family." It's such an interesting twist for the family. She eventually claimed the video was actually for her family. Number 10. Epic fail on video chat. Since the coronavirus struck, many organizations have adopted virtual means of communication. An employee suffered an embarrassing blunder in front of her work colleagues after exposing her private moment to them. 11 colleagues were logged onto a video call, and while one of the colleagues was providing an update, another one, the woman in question, could be seen walking through her home with her laptop. She places it on the floor and then casually pulls down her trousers to sit on the toilet. At that moment, she was unaware that the camera had been covering her actions. Seeing the epic video chat fail, some of her colleagues burst into laughter, while others remained shocked. The woman suddenly realized her mistakes and quickly turned away the laptop. Her colleague, who was providing the update, was unaware of the situation and would be forced to ask what had happened. One of them said, "I saw nothing," and another simply said, "Poor Jennifer." The clip would be uploaded to Facebook, where it gained more than 7 million views with the caption, "Make sure you know how to use video conferencing if you're working from home." The clip attracted thousands of comments from users. Some of them could be seen begging their colleagues not to make such a mistake, while another one wrote, "OMG, I would die if this were me, haha." Number 11. Online dating gone wrong. A man's online dating fail went viral after he had attempted to use the same pickup line on 2 different women on Twitter, only for it to backfire. It turned out that the 2 women were actually roommates. He had sent a message via the dating app Hinge, reading, "This is hands down the nicest photo I've seen in my entire Hinge career." He sent the line and a photo of the woman's dating profile, but she responded with, "You said this to my friend as well, ha ha ha." The man was a bit confused and inquisitively asked, "How did you know I said that to her? Did it go up to your group chat?" It was this moment that the woman revealed that she and the previous recipient of his pickup line actually lived together. It couldn't be confirmed whether or not the man succeeded in wooing either of the women. He had decided to bring the interaction to Twitter and uploaded the images with the caption, "Probably time I came up with a new opener. Your boy's been absolutely rumbled." The post received thousands of likes and retweets, and one of the viewers would comment that they were once in the exact same situation. Another user wrote, "I mean, to be fair, you can use the same line, and if every girl just gets nicer and nicer, then you're not technically lying. It's food for thought, I'll leave it with you." Do you find pickup lines interesting, or are they actually just cringy? Let's have your views in the comments section down below. Number 8. Strange dad on family group chat. You have 3 options when you're added to a group chat that you don't belong. The first is to point out the mistake, the second is to just leave quietly, and the last is to be part of the conversation. Obviously, an unidentified man decided to go with the last. A man by the name of Jono Hopkins accidentally added a complete stranger to his family's group chat. He thought the person to be his father. The stranger read all the messages for 6 months without informing the admin about the mistake, but Jono thought that his dad was simply ignoring him. The Twitter user tweeted, "For 6 months there's been someone in my family WhatsApp group who I thought was my dad, but was in fact a random person named Peter. This person had sat and read every message and never thought to chime in to inform us that we've added the wrong one." The twist came when the stranger, whom he thought was his father, also named Peter, asked what was going on. Jono was forced to respond, "Dad, you're in the WhatsApp group, you're reading the messages." The supposed father replied, "Am I?" At this point, Jono had no option but to think that his father was simply getting old. When he realized the error, though, he explained how he'd felt bad about adding the fake dad Peter, and hoped that he enjoyed reading his mother's messages about how she thought Coldplay's album was called "A Cold Hard Blow to the Head." The fake dad was actually a plumber who had come to his house to repair a washing machine sometime long before. Number 7. McDonald's Black Friday tweet fail. McDonald's Twitter was set to post a message about Black Friday deals, but rather than share complete information, it posted an incomplete tweet. The tweet read, "Black Friday, need copy and link." It appears like the placeholder went out rather than the actual tweet. This kind of error might not be avoidable sometimes, especially considering the demands of working in the media. There are times when everyone tends to operate at half their normal brain power, and this might be what occurred with the social media manager of the fast food chain company. Funny enough, the error attracted more attention than the correct tweet would have probably gotten in the first place. Actually, the so-called mistake would spark several debates, but no one could say if the act was a real oops or just a strategic move by the company. McDonald's would neither confirm nor deny the Twitter user's claims that the tweet was made intentionally. One Twitter user, who also describes himself as a McDonald's vigilante, would comment, "I believe it was intentional. A pun of, they aren't working today but out shopping. It was genius. There wasn't a planned Black Friday offer, especially coming from the global McD handle." He further stated that a real Black Friday would have emanated from the app or the United States. McDonald's quickly made a joke out of the gaffe about not having had enough caffeine. "When you tweet before your first cut of McCafe, nothing comes before coffee," they wrote. Whatever the case may be, the mistake shows that the company is made up of real human beings who are not perfect, making them more relatable. Thousands of comments were made under the tweets, and dozens of articles about the epic mishap also popped up. Number 6. Confused response by a fast food chain. Chick-fil-A, a popular North American fast food chicken chain, got a bit confused when a Twitter user asked it to open a new store in Alaska. The fast food chain would quickly respond as thus, "Thanks for asking. Although we have no immediate plans to expand beyond North America, we appreciate your feedback. Thanks for being a fan." Now obviously the account's handler was in a rush to engage with the company's audience, but unfortunately they ended up giving the wrong answer. One of the rules of engaging the online community is to prioritize accuracy ahead of an instantaneous response. That's because Alaska is actually part of North America and the United States. In a separate tweet by a user who requested the same thing, the fast food company gave a more precise answer. It said, "Hi there, thanks for asking. Unfortunately, we have no immediate plans of expanding to Alaska. There are multiple factors we take into consideration when selecting a new restaurant location, but your feedback is so important to us as we look to enter new areas." The new response was clearly quite different from the former, indicating that the company's handler had experienced a gaffe with the first response. Number 5. Downvoted Reddit comment. Now, if you've ever surfed Reddit, a discussion platform, you would realize that a large portion of its user base is interested in reading tips, life hacks, product criticisms, and most importantly, they love gaming. They upvote posts that are valuable to them and downvote those that offer them nothing. A few years ago, Reddit gamers would be discussing a pricing issue on a subreddit related to an EA game, Star Wars Battlefront 2. The gamers felt like they had to spend more money on a game that they'd already purchased, in addition to completing a certain number of playing hours in order to get new levels. So many of them took to the platform to express their disdain. At this point, in an effort to do some damage control, EA wrote a response to one of the Redditors, explaining the standing by the pricing of the game rather than providing a specific solution. In the explanation, EA stated that the intent was to provide players with a sense of pride and accomplishment for unlocking different heroes. Unfortunately, though, Redditors only seemed to be interested in comments that offered them value, and since that comment didn't go down very well with them, they would quickly downvote the item. It would soon be sent to the bottom of a subreddit to become the most downvoted comment in the history of the platform. Reddit actually allows users to create subreddits and communities around specific topics, a feature that is not common with other social networks, which includes Facebook and Instagram. Number 4. Zoom filter mishap. One of the permanent changes left by the pandemic is virtual hearings. In Texas, more than 1 million virtual hearings have been conducted. A lawyer had just found himself in an embarrassing situation after unintentionally using a cat filter during a court hearing on Zoom. Judge Roy B. Ferguson, the 394th Judicial District Court judge in Texas, realizing it, called his attention to the mishap. He would suggest that he was not on his own computer and was using the computer of a colleague who had the settings turned on. The filter, a small white kitten, looked sad with its worried eyes darting around. It opened its mouth to speak, "Can you hear me, Judge?" But all the judge saw when he looked back was a cat talking to him. "I'm here live, I'm not a cat," he continued. It appeared as though the attorney had no idea how to remove the filter. And so Judge Ferguson had to walk him through the process of turning the filter off. He would later tell CNN that since he had to use his secretary's computer for the hearing, it was possible that she or her daughter had used the cat filter previously. He made a funny comment about the whole situation. "The cat was empathetic with me. It was as upset about it as I was." Luckily for the lawyer, the participants maintained a high level of professionalism, as no one mocked him or laughed at him. Ferguson would later use his Twitter account to make a public service announcement about the need to check Zoom video options before joining a virtual hearing, especially if a child had used the computer before. Number 3. Caught in angry rants. Teenagers can be so angsty. In what could be described as one of the most epic Zoom fails, a young girl named Jordan recorded herself on her phone complaining about her teacher's rules for the class's Zoom call. Her teacher had given the following instructions: turn your camera on and mute your mic. Just don't be in bed, the bathroom, or your kitchen. She reacted, "Where else am I supposed to go? I don't have a game room. I don't got like 18 bedrooms." But as she was busy complaining about the entire thing, she suddenly heard her teacher's voice interrupting her to provide what he meant by the instructions. According to the teacher, everyone just needs to be in an appropriate place. Obviously, she had forgotten to hit the mute button on Zoom, and her face dropped after the interruption. She could be heard repeatedly saying, "Oh God." The video went viral after she shared it on TikTok with the caption, "I wish this was fake." The clip had racked up millions of likes, with some TikTokers expressing their concerns. Number 2, sending compromising message to wrong people. There are times that we have misdirected sensitive messages just because we're in a rush to send them. Everyone's made that mistake. In fact, such mistakes have great consequences. For instance, imagine sending a job application to your current boss. That's something that nobody would want to happen. One Twitter user would say, "I just came so close to sending a text to the wrong person, and if I had sent it, I would have to leave this planet. That would have ended me." I'll leave you to guess what the content of the message might have been. One woman also claimed that she had texted a man she was about to break up with, "Hang on, I'm about to break up with him, I'll call you later." I guess she doesn't need to text again, as she had made her point already. All of these errors would suggest one thing: absent-mindedness in a world of digital communication. In fact, most people didn't realize that they had made a mistake until the person that got the message called their attention to the error, or until the intended recipient said they never received it. And so, before sending a message, you may want to have a second look over the content of what it is and the intended recipient before hitting that send button. You don't have to start racking your brain on the kind of damage control that you would need, which may not have an iota of impact on the outcome of the wrong message. Number 1. Boss turned potato. Do you know that positive feeling you get when you're told that you can be anything? That was not the case with this lady. She got a negative feeling when she became a potato. It was an embarrassing moment for her as she turned herself into a potato during a Microsoft team meeting. The funniest part of it was that she couldn't figure out how to turn the setting off and had to remain that way through the entire meeting. A tweet of the entire incident would go viral, featuring a caption and a picture of her looking like a potato. It left the whole participants laughing hilariously. But rather than feel bad about it, the boss made fun of the situation. She tweeted, "I am potato boss, you should see me in a crown." Right, at Billie Eilish? I am glad this is making folks laugh at this time. Please stay planted at home and safe. For more needed laughs, follow my favorite comedian, at Christella9 Potato Out. The employee was comforted by her boss's response, because at least she wouldn't be fired. One social media comedian also requested to know how to become a potato for their next team call. If you happen to be amongst the meeting participants, would you have been able to keep your cool by not being distracted by the whole situation? Let us know all about your chat fail experiences in the comments down below, because you may just make a sad reader smile.